Hey everyone, Screaming Geek Me here. I am Jerry the Geek. Got a 4K review for you today. We're going to talk about Caligula. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, if you like home theater movies in general, check out my other videos on my channel because I do these reviews. I do unboxings. I do collection updates every month. I do different discussions. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. And always feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think at any time. Now, let's dive into the 4K of Caligula. The movie came out in 1979. You got Malcolm McDowell, Peter O'Toole, Helen Mirren, directed by Tinto Brass. Now, the movie revolves around, pagan Rome back in 37 AD. I have to admit, I've never watched this movie. I think I've seen bits and pieces. Because, back in the 80s when our family got, into, VHS, and of course the, type of movie this is, it was considered an adult movie. So I wasn't supposed to be watching it. So I think I did get it and I watched some of it when the parents weren't around. But other than that, I don't think I've ever watched it ever since then. So I would consider this a first time watch for me. And I have to say, I started watching the theatrical version first. I watched about 50 minutes of it, and at that point, I was like, it was enough. This is not my cup of tea. I just didn't get into it at all. Very dry, very boring. Definitely, it's one of those movies, shows its age. It's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people out there love it. I bought it for, because, this is a kind of a piece of cinematic history, because of the name, the content, the nudity, everything that's in it. So something that, a blind buy for me, wanted to have it in my collection, but at this point, I'm like, do I want to keep it? I don't know, but yeah, I didn't like it. Now the 4K here. Now this is from a Drafthouse Unobstructed view. Umbrella had their own. They came out at the same time. The Umbrella editions were pretty expensive. I thought I went with a cheaper route, so I got this from Diabolic. The movie was filmed in 35 millimeter. I actually did have a 4K digital intermediate. As far as HDR, I don't know. I don't think it had any HDR. Even watching the new restored version, it just didn't feel like it did. It didn't have any depth to it. But, first off, because this has two cuts of the film on this, where the Umbrella has, I think, 5 cuts of the movie. So, sorry, the theatrical cut, like I said, I watched about 50 minutes of it. There was nothing done. If they did anything, it's not visible because it looks like shit. There was no cleanup work done from what I could tell. But then I popped in the ultimate cut, and that is where the work was done. It was cleaned up. It looked nice and crisp. Still didn't have the depth that you would expect with HDR. But it looked really good. Definitely, this is a movie that's probably never looked like this. So, pretty impressive overall for the ultimate cut. No Blu-ray comparisons because I've never owned this. So, there's nothing to talk about there. Now, getting into the audio. They got a couple different tracks. Depending on the cut. The theatrical cut has a 2.0 track. And the ultimate cut does have a 5.1. And the theatrical 2.0, definitely dated. It's clear. You hear some little pops and stuff here and there. It wasn't, perfect. Or the ultimate cut, the 5.1, sounded really clean. They did a great job with it as well. It doesn't really come alive. It just a little ambience, but not a lot. So there's really not a whole lot to say about the audio track. It's good. It's cleaned up. So for the packaging here, the Drafthouse, the version has a slip cover. You can see the back there. Pop the slip cover off. You know, standard keep case. A little thicker because this is a 4-disc set. Got a little art card, little info, chapter listing, and the discs are labeled. You know, you've got number 4, which is actually the CD, the soundtrack. And the first one is a 4K of the ultimate cuts. And then number 2 is a 4K of the theatrical. And the third one is a Blu-ray with the bonus features. Now for the bonus here, basically it's all on ultimate cuts. We have a couple audio commentaries. Then we have a Cannes 2023 teaser. Then a restored original theatrical trailer. Then we have some little featurettes, interview with Tinto Brass called The Orgy of Power. Then we got the making of Caligula, the Gussion scandal featurette. Then also we have, according to the soundtrack is included as well. So, you know, a little bit here to go through. So to wrap it up here with Caligula on 4K, if you're a fan of the film, I would recommend picking this up, especially if you want to watch the ultimate cut, which is what everyone says is a better cut. You know, I couldn't make it through the movie, but if you're a fan of it, you'll probably want to get the ultimate cut, and it is cleaned up, looks phenomenal. Now, here's where it's a dilemma. You have choices. Again, you know, this is from Drafthouse and Unobstructed View, and I don't know how they compare with Umbrella as far as how the overall look will be. Now, the Umbrella has 2 versions available. You can see here, the cheaper one is a standard. It runs $65, but it's sold out at the moment. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. But then they also got this big box set that if you're a diehard, if you really like this movie, this is still available for $105. I know Chase over at AVA Pop Culture, he did an unboxing of it, you know, a while back, and it is a gorgeous set. But then you have to ask yourself, you know, how big of a fan are you if you want all this extra stuff? Again, you know, the Umbrella has 5 cuts: the ultimate cut, the unrated theatrical cut, the Italian cut, Australian cut, and also a pre-release cut. But that being said, with Umbrella, the only 4K is the ultimate cut. It's one advantage with the Drafthouse, the theatrical version is in 4K, but since they didn't do a cleanup, so it really doesn't freaking matter. But again, it just boils down to a fan of what you want. You can still get this from Diabolic for $65.99 if you don't need all the extra stuff and just interested in the movie itself in 4K. So I would recommend going that route. So that pretty much does it for my look at the 4K of Caligula from Drafthouse Unobstructed View. Again, I couldn't afford getting that big set from Umbrella or even the cheaper set. I just chose this route. I didn't need the extra cuts. I thought 2 cuts was enough for me. And in my opinion, one was enough for me because I doubt I'll ever watch this again. But please comment below. Let me know what you think. Are you a fan of this movie? Don't be afraid to, you know, tell me I'm full of crap. Again, just not my cup of tea. I just could not get into it. I know there's fans out there of it, and, you know, everyone likes different things, and I'm not going to dock anyone for liking this movie. But again, if you do like, I would recommend picking up one of these versions. That ultimate cut looked incredible. So check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.